Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another video. I am so excited for this.
Me too, I can't wait.
So excited. This is my friend Hannah. This weekend, Hannah and I are going on a little getaway and we're gonna try to read as much as we can in 24 hours. This is very much a girls that get it video. I was telling my brother about this trip and he goes, have fun on your trip, I guess. Meanwhile, the drive over, we're like giddy. Oh my God. We're gonna sit in silence and read.
And no one's gonna talk to me. It's gonna be so nice.
Hannah is also like the perfect person for this video. I'm so excited. Hannah has the coolest job ever.
I'm a teacher librarian. So I'm kind of around books all the time, but what people don't know about teacher librarians, we actually don't have a lot of time to read. I never am sitting down. I'm constantly running around at the library, teaching lessons, and then also helping students find books. I don't ever really get to just sit and read, so I'm so excited for this weekend.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be amazing. But before we do that, we need two things.
Yes.
We need books and snacks.
Tons and tons of food.
So I brought my Kindle preloaded with a bunch of books from Libby, which is like a library app that I love. And then Hannah brought some books from her library. We also want to go to a bookshop here and see if there's anything else that we want to get. We also each are gonna pick out a book for each other. So cute little local bookshop.
Are you gonna be bold and go into sci-fi with me?
You know, if I'm gonna do it, this might be the time. Hannah's a big romantasy girl, and I have tried to romantasy.
Oh, look how cute. Look how cute this is. It even has like little...
I tried to read Fourth Wing, and I abandoned it halfway through. I know, people are gonna crucify me for that.
I don't understand you. You didn't even get to the good parts yet.
Kenzie was about ready to end our friendship over that.
That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
I mean, I'm open to giving it another go. You can pick a romantasy book for me if you want, because I trust your recommendations. Okay. You're literally a librarian.
That's not gonna be the one. I know the one.
I need entry level. Okay, I have my pick for Hannah. I'm recommending to you The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is like such a cute, cozy romance book, but it also has a little bit more depth to it than like a typical cheesy romance. It's got a little bit of spice. There are some twists and turns, and I love recommending this book to people. It's such a bingeable book.
I'm so excited. I was thinking about adding this to my library, so this would be perfect. This book has my heart. So this book is called Divine Rivals, and anyone and everyone needs to read it. What I love about it is that it like has a little bit of everything for everyone. Okay. So it's mainly a historical fiction, even though you probably find it in the fantasy section. Really, it's basically World War I trench warfare, but instead of the Axis powers and the Allied powers, it's actually they're fighting for two different gods who like have different ideals. And so we have to like decide who's right and stuff. And there's a little bit of pen pals, and then there's some like magic with typewriters. But they're both, it's like the power of the written word. It is so beautiful, and then the romance is adorable, and it's enemies to lovers, which I am gonna love. It's more like rivals. They're not enemies, so.
Would you say it's divine rivals?
I would say they're oh my God. And what's also really refreshing is that most fantasy books are huge, and you're reading for like 700 pages. This one is really not bad. It's barely 300.
Okay.
It's just so good.
Divine Rivals. I'm dipping my toe back into romantasy. Thank you. Snacks. Now this is what a good weekend looks like. Oh, we're so ready. Okay, we just checked into our hotel, which is this beautiful, vibey, historic hotel. It's like 100 years old. We have our books. So you guys saw the two that I got at the bookstore, and then also on my Kindle. I went and joined a bunch of waitlists on Libby, like leading up to this trip. So I have Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Funny Story by Emily Henry,
so cute. Healing
Wounds by Diane Carlson Evans, which is a nonfiction book that Kristen Hanna used as a source for her book, The Women, which is about the Vietnam War. So if I'm wanting a little nonfiction, I might dip my toes in there, but I feel like for this kind of readathon,
no way.
I wanna like escape.
I want to be able to get as many done as possible.
Yes. Oh, and then The Mist by Stephen King.
We were talking about that. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, and it's short. So, and then I've got these two as well. So I've got lots to choose from.
Including...
Oh, right. Hannah grabbed one for me from her library. The Housemaid. I've heard amazing things.
I loved this book.
Fair.
You're going to love it. And there's like mega twists, and the lead character, you like don't really trust her. It's kind of awesome.
Add it to the stack. Okay, what do you have?
Okay, my first book, Warrior Girl Unearthed. So this is like one of my favorite authors right now. So it's Angeline Boulley. And I read her Firekeeper's Daughter, which was a book that, I don't want to say changed my life, but it was one of the first YA books that I've read in a while that was so beautifully written. She's an Indigenous writer and talks extensively about the rights of Indigenous peoples, which is something that I really want to know more about. And so this is actually about like some branch off characters, so I'm so excited about this book.
That sounds amazing.
And then this book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. My romantasy peeps will get. She wrote Six of Crows, and she's like written a bunch of other books that people are kind of obsessed with. And then this is from you. I cannot wait to read this. I read a lot of fantasy, so I'm so excited to do something just like cute and fun. My next book is The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I've had students read this book and they said it was really boring. So I'm curious, but it's beautiful and it's about women empowerment, and I feel like I always just need more of that. So Watching You, I'm also really excited about this book. This is one I probably will read next. I haven't read, this is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I haven't read her stuff yet, but this was requested by a student, and I was like, I'm gonna take this before my students.
I think I need to approve this first, actually.
See if it needs to go into my library.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna start Ninth House. I think I am gonna start I'm torn between Divine Rivals and The Housemaid. Should I do Divine Rivals? Because the thing is, right now I'm the most motivated to read because we're about to start. So if, for me, fantasy takes a little bit longer to get into, now might be the best time. Plus, I just finished a fantasy book yesterday, so I'm already like,
you're ready.
I'm believing in magic.
Well, and then maybe we can read the same genres together, so that'd be kind of cute.
I like that.
Yay.
Okay, book cheers.
Yay! Cheers!
Okay, we're starting a timer. We're only gonna pause this when we're sleeping, because if we're awake, we could be reading, and therefore the timer goes on. So here we go. Ready? Set. Go! We're an hour in, moving down to the lobby to read. Hannah's reading while she walks. The clock's ticking.
It is. Also, it's too good.
Oh my god. This is everything. Okay, we're 2 hours in, and we ordered some cheese and books and a toasty fireplace. I'm in heaven. This is amazing.
And mocktails.
Okay, we are just past the 3-hour mark, and this is maybe the best place to read in the entire world.
It's kind of where everybody needs to make a bucket list item.
Yes. I am just flying through this book. I am so happy with this recommendation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What I really like about the fantasy elements of this book is it's kind of grounded in realism. Like, there's fantastical elements of like monsters and enchantments, but then it's also like, oh, a typewriter and like baseball and a train.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I can like picture myself in this world in a way that I kind of struggle to in some like traditional fantasy.
Urban fantasy.
Ooh, is that the word for it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite subgenres of fantasy.
I think that's maybe what I need to stick to.
I love it.
Is the urban fantasy.
I have a lot of recommendations for you then.
Please. I also switched to the audiobook. We both switched to the audiobook for a little bit. Hannah was able to find hers on Libby, and then I used my Audible credit, and it's been nice to switch back and forth because after reading for so long, I do start to feel my eyes get a little tired, you know?
You turn to me and you say, it's been 3 hours. I'm like, what?
Like, what do you mean? It's been 10 minutes. It really is flying by.
Oh my god. I had a feeling it was gonna happen, and I'm not a fast reader, which is something that everyone's always shocked by. I really want to be immersed in what's happening, and I get, like I said, time just kind of flies away from me. This book was taking some time to get into. I'm almost 100 pages in, and it was taking a while. So what's really cool about this book is that there's multiple timelines, which I really like. There are multiple perspectives, which I also like. I love when there's a male and a female narrator. Just
That's
like
how this book is as well.
And the audiobook for that book is one of my favorites.
It's really good.
I love both of them. And I like the narrators in this book too.
Okay, we're staying in the lobby for now because it's so nice. Back to the books.
See you soon.
Back in the hotel room. We took a brief hiatus from reading to go to dinner, but we actually did end up reading on the walk to dinner, and then tried not to read at dinner, but then ended up reading at dinner, which I think is a good sign that we're both very into our books.
I mean, I had envisioned just us sitting in silence the whole time reading, so the fact that we actually sat and were like not just talking about our books the whole time, which actually we were talking about books the whole time.
But we were talking.
We were talking.
I'm having so much fun talking about this book with you, and I'm also so excited to talk to you about it when I finish, because I can tell that you're biting your tongue about things.
It's so hard.
I'm loving this book.
She's making all these predictions and I'm like,
where's her brother? Are they gonna fall in love? Why is he there on the front lines? I'm just very invested and really enjoying it. And I feel like it's really about to pick up.
Him?
Do we trust him?
That was big for me.
How's your book? Because from the little tidbits you're telling me, it seems absolutely nuts.
Lee Bardugo, it's just like 150 pages in and I still have no idea what's happening. Let's get into it.
Yes, we are cozy in our jammies. We have just eaten dinner. Also,
no idea.
Literally like an hour in, at some point my timer on my phone paused and I don't know when, and so that kind of sucks because I really wanted that to be our exact tracking moment, but I do know that we started at 2:07 because I took a clip. So we're like 5.5 hours in, and I think I can finish this tonight. I'm really excited.
Oh my gosh, there's no way.
Yours is also way longer. Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt your blood ritual. How did she not figure out that it's him when he showed up at the battlefield? Not them doing couch to 5K in this book.
I love them running together.
It's cute.
It's so cute.
I was listening to the audiobook for a little bit, but I had to go back to the physical book because the romance is getting so good. Oh, this book is really, really getting good. I mean, I feel like I haven't even talked that much about what it's about, but there are these two aspiring journalists who are connected by this magical typewriter, and they're covering this war between the gods, and then as they're writing to each other, like, there are some really beautiful passages about like love and grief and vulnerability and like how you allow people to see you, and I'm really loving the way that that is balanced with this like magical, fantastical war of the gods. Oh, I've got like less than 100 pages to go and it's getting really good, but I do kind of miss my Kindle. Getting a little tired of holding the physical book. Hannah's taking a break. Are you tapped out for the night, or are you?
No, I'm gonna nap.
Taking a little nap, recharge. Okay, back to the cute romantic-y academia vibes. Stop. 20 pages left, and there was just quite the twist. I'm really curious as to how this is all gonna wrap up. Okay, y'all, my first book wrapped, Divine Rivals. I really enjoyed this. I felt like the romance in this book was perfectly paced and also really well balanced with like the war plot and all the fantasy elements of that. And one of the parts that I really loved about this book is, you know, these two main characters are connected by these magical typewriters, and so they're writing back and forth to each other, and you know, that aspect of the book is going on also while there's this like fantastical war of the gods, and these two main characters are essentially like war correspondent journalists covering the conflict. I also really liked that all of the lore and the background and the mythology of like the gods at war wasn't just exposition dumped at the beginning. Like, it was really a slow drip throughout, and we kind of found out about it as the protagonist was finding out about it, which I prefer. And yeah, I was really into the romance in this book. It was super cute. I will say I kind of wanted like a little bit more spice to it, but you know, this is more of like a YA book, so I got it. We got a little bit. but it was very tasteful. This book is the first of a series, and one of my pet peeves is when a book like doesn't wrap itself up just because there's more books in the series. Like, I want a book to be able to stand alone. I want to feel like at least, you know, elements of the story that we've been following have been wrapped up. And yes, we can pick it up and continue in the next one, but I like for a book to feel somewhat complete on its own, and I feel like this didn't really give me all of that. It definitely ends on a cliffhanger, but like I said, I've really enjoyed it, so I am excited to pick up the next one, but I don't think I'm gonna jump right into it just because, I mean, I've essentially been reading this book for 8 hours straight. We're almost at the 8-hour mark, so I kind of want something a little bit different. I think we're gonna go to bed pretty soon here. Hannah's about ready to turn in. So I think we're gonna turn the lights off, get in bed. But I might start a book on my Kindle because I pretty much always read my Kindle before I go to bed anyways. And if I'm wanting something different, I have been really excited to read Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love her books. So I might get started on that before I actually go to sleep. But yeah, Divine Rivals, I'm gonna give 4 out of 5 stars. And probably my favorite fantasy, or at least fantasy adjacent book that I've read this year. Good night.
Good night. Got up at 6 and ate a little bit of Greek yogurt.
Yum.
And I've been reading a lot. It's finally getting
It's heating up.
Yes, it's heating up.
Back at our favorite spot. I'm drinking a Celsius, about to head out for my run, listening to Carrie Soto is Back. It's very good.
So I stayed up reading until 11:30 last night. So we got 9.5 hours in yesterday, which means 14.5 to go today. But you woke up and started reading at 6.
Yes.
So the timer got going early.
I conked out at like, it was like 8:30 and I was like, I can't do this. And I fell asleep on the couch and Sarah goes, do you want me to just go to bed? And I'm like, yes, I do. Okay, but good night.
But what's so nice is we're relay racing. Yes. I stayed up late and read. You woke up early and read.
Yes.
So we're cruising towards that 24-hour mark, and we're actually halfway because it's now a little after 9.
It's like kind of sad.
I know. I'm like, I thought I was gonna be sick of reading, but I'm definitely not.
We're doing it. We're halfway through with this book.
You said it's getting good, right?
It's a journey. It's finally good.
So update on Ninth House. How's it going?
Oh my gosh, yes. So what's kind of cool is that you're constantly going back and forth, and we do have 2 perspectives, but one of the characters is like vanished and we don't know what happened to him.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so that's what's kind of cool too about this book, is that it is a mystery too, is you're trying to figure out what happened, and there's some fantastical elements we're starting to get into that, like, we already know that she has supernatural abilities, but we don't know the extent of them yet. So it's really cool watching her grow, watching her change, and there's some friendships between women growing, which is really important to me. And so that has been really cool. And our main character is a badass. We've talked about this. That's like one of the things that I love about romantasy, is that oftentimes the heroines are just awesome, and they are like, they kick ass and take names, and like that's something that's important to me.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like especially in a book like this that's bigger and more dense, once you get to that last part and it starts heating up, it's like all of this buildup has been worth it.
It's been lots of buildup. So that's mine, but what's yours like? Because you're already halfway through.
I am.
And I'm halfway through my first book, but it's fine.
It's shorter though. It's shorter. Carrie Soto is Back is really enjoyable. It's such an easy read. Taylor Jenkins Reid, the way that she writes is so bingeable and just so easy to digest. And actually what's been cool is the main character in this story, Carrie Soto, was a minor character in one of her other books that I just read, Malibu Rising. And in that book, she's completely unhinged. Like, completely. But she's a side character. And in this book, you see why she is the way that she is. And she's also kind of like an unlikable protagonist, which I like. You know, I feel like it adds something a little bit different. And like I said, I'm just a huge Taylor Jenkins Reid fan, and the way that she really pulls you into the story. I feel like her books are so bingeable. Rarely do I take more than a couple days to finish one of her books, because it's one of those ones that's just so easy to jump into. I'm really interested to see how this continues to go, because it's very much a sports story, and it's covering the comeback of this tennis player who left her career due to an injury, and pretty much everyone was like, yeah, no, like, enjoy retirement, like, you are one of the best tennis players of all time. And she's like, yes, but I need to be the best, so I'm coming back in my 30s. And I also really love like seeing a woman thrive past what is considered like her prime, you know? I'm like, yes, you go out there and kill it and have your comeback. And so I'm really enjoying it. And it was also fun to read it while I was, or listen to it while I was on my run, because a lot of it is like, you know, she's training, she's running, she's conditioning. I'm like, me too, girl. Me too.
You're right along with her.
Oh, also on my run this morning, I ran past a library museum, and Hannah and I were like, that would be such a fun little field trip later in the day when we're ready for a change of scenery.
So stay tuned.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna grab my Kindle, you grab your book, let's dive back in. A second to process before I jump right into the next book. Oh my god, that was such a good book. All right, so our reading today has been pretty wonderful, I would say. Yes. Let's see, it is now almost 3 o'clock, so we've got, what is that, like 5.5 hours left, 6 hours?
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Getting to that finish line.
We did try to go to the library museum, but it ended up being more museum and less library. There wasn't really anywhere to sit and read.
It was actually a specialized library, and I've not been to one of those, so as a librarian, that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely cool vibes, cool building. And then we went and found a nice little cafe, sat and read, and I brought the housemaid and Carrie Soto with me because I only had an hour left in it, and I loved that book. I'm so glad I finally got to read it, because I've heard so many people talk about how much they love it, and it was just such a joy to read. It was like fast-paced and so funny and sweet at times, and just a great book, and definitely up there with my other favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid books, like Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Maybe in Another Life. This is like in that top tier.
Wow.
I feel like it's probably like a 4.5 star book for me. But yeah, Carrie Soto is back. Great book. Also like heartwarming in a lot of ways too, because at the base of it is really like a father-daughter relationship. And there's this one part that I wrote down because it just really resonated with me and I wanted to share it. But her dad is also her coach for tennis, and she's going over all of these, you know, small minute details and strategy and tactics and all of that, and just really focused on like winning alone. And her dad says, try to enjoy it, that's the one thing you have forgotten. And I feel that so much as someone who like really is a planner, right? And I have so many lists and things, whether it's like work or travel or, you know, even just trying to like coordinate things with the kids. Like I have so much that I'm trying to like make sure all the details are perfect, and sometimes what actually is important gets lost in the sauce of like, wait, but you forgot to enjoy it. And I just loved that.
I love a good message from a book.
Yeah. Okay, but how is your book? You are on the home stretch.
We're still here, guys. We are getting there, you know? We are down to the last 100 pages. So there's little mysteries throughout the entire book that are starting to kind of come unraveled. Now I'm finally wondering where this is gonna go. And there's like this big, I think I talked about that this guy disappeared, and we actually learned a little bit more about that. And we're learning more about our main character, and she's not as innocent as she appears. Man, my brain is fried, I will say.
24 hours of reading, let's do that to you.
Yeah, it is a different kind of marathon.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like if I wasn't switching back and forth between the physical book and the audiobook, my brain would be even more mush, because I find myself, after looking at the pages for so long, being like,
yeah,
my eyes need a break.
Yeah.
My brain needs a break.
Yeah. No, my phone is dying and my AirPods are dying, so we're We're old school.
So we've got another couple hours to push here. I say a couple hours. 6 hours is quite a bit of reading.
Not enough.
I know. I also have now started The Housemaid. When we came back from lunch, we did some reading in the little courtyard here before we came back up to the room. And this book got me literally in the first sentence. It starts with, if I leave this house, it will be in handcuffs. Tell me more. Tell me everything. When I went to download the audiobook of this one, it said, gripping storyline, unpredictable twist, jaw-dropping revelations. I'm like, amazing, sign me up. Any thoughts on this book as I venture into it?
Again, I can't. I'll spoil something.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll just comment when you are going through it.
All right. Okay, we decided it was a little too sleepy in the room. So we're going back to our spot in the lobby. Gonna have some caffeine.
Yep, and get some tea.
Yes. I'm on page 201 and we just got the reveal that someone is not who we thought they were and not who they said they were, and actually more than just one someone. And I am shook. I feel like I need to go reread the whole first 2/3 of this book because I feel like there's so much that I missed. And Hannah is almost done.
We're so close, finally. There was a twist that I actually kind of saw from the beginning, and I'm kind of glad.
Do you feel kind of vindicated?
Yeah, like 20.
20 pages to go.
We're done.
How do you feel?
I feel accomplished, and we ended with a almost like the last sentence is like, so where should we begin? It was good because it wrapped up like the murders, it wrapped up the deaths and like all these like serial murders that they kept figuring out were somehow connected. So what's cool is like it wrapped up all the questions, but there's like one question the whole time that you're wondering what happened to the main character, and the other main character thinks she knows, and that's what the next book is about.
Oh, so you're just getting started.
Yeah, it's nice because I feel like I can like put this book away and I'm not like dying to devour the next one like I do some other books like Divine Rivals. I literally like downloaded the next one like immediately.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get ready to say a little goodbye.
We have 2.5 hours left. Hannah just finished Ninth House.
Only took 21.5 hours.
Okay, so what would you give it on a 5-star rating?
I gave it a 4.
Okay.
I wanted to give it a 3, but I felt like it deserved more than that. Like the writing was good, the plot was good, the development of the characters were really good. There was twists and turns, and there was like a lot of development of so many characters, which is really impressive. And there was like a lot of like, oh, okay, never mind, that's not how it's going. And it like kind of keeps you on the hook, and there's a lot of mysteries, and it actually ties up like all of them except for one, leading for the next book. So really well done. I just didn't like the whole time that there's no romance. And it was more of a higher fantasy than I was expecting, so that was tough.
Yeah, but you did it. You conquered it.
I'm tired.
Yeah. It's a lot of reading.
So I'm excited to read this little guy.
Is that what you're gonna go to next?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna fly through that book. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. It's gonna give you the romance that you were missing, because this book is like primarily romance.
It's great.
One thing I do have to talk about though, this
Sorry.
book, no. I like...
Did you finish it?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
One thing that, well, not just one thing. I have so many things to talk to you about with this book. I didn't want to interrupt you because you were right at the end of Ninth House. But dear God, we're finding out all of the things. I've got like, I think 70 or 80 pages to go. And it is horrifying in ways I didn't expect. So this book, it's basically about a woman who has a past and gets hired as a housekeeper. And things are really weird in this house, but she sticks it out because she doesn't have a lot of other options. And there's just so many weird things from the very beginning. For example, the woman who hired her, Nina, just all of the information that she's giving her conflicts, and she has these big outbursts of rage. And you know, like Millie, the narrator, makes a snack for her daughter, and she comes in, she's like, what are you doing? She has a peanut allergy. What's wrong with you? And then the daughter is like, I have a peanut allergy, were you trying to kill me? And then like chapters later, the husband, her other boss, Nina's husband, is like, what are you talking about? Like, she doesn't have a peanut allergy. Like, yeah. And there's a ton of things like that in the first 2/3 of the book that aren't adding up. And when I got to the point that everything clicks into place, I was just, I'm so glad I have nothing to do but read, because I would be doing everything I could to clear my schedule to read. This is a book to get if you're going on a flight, if you need to kill some time, because I can't put it down.
No. Yeah, I read it in a day. Let's get going.
All right, book cheers. An hour and a half left in the readathon, and I just finished The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This book is such a wild ride. Oh my gosh. There were so many parts that had me jaw on the floor, and then other parts that had me like cringing and shuddering, and definitely a thriller. There's also a sequel to this that I am definitely gonna want to be reading, especially considering the ending. This book sits somewhere between like 4.5 and 5 stars for me. It's not quite a 5-star read, but definitely top tier. Excellent, easy to read, bingeable. Okay, my camera died, but I'm gonna change into my pajamas and figure out what book I want to read next. Hannah's over there diving into 7 Year Slip. I kind of want to start The Mist by Stephen King because it's short. So even if I don't finish it tonight, like maybe I can finish it today and tomorrow. It's only like 100 and something pages. Oh my god.
It better be. 24 hours.
That's it.
We did it.
That's time. We have now completed our 24-hour readathon.
Feeling good.
Yeah. How's your
Like I
book?
should. It's really cheesy.
It is so sickeningly sweet and
it's,
cheesy.
It's a lot. I've gotten a good third into it.
All right. I am about 40 pages into The Mist, and nothing has really happened yet, which usually for a longer book I wouldn't think twice about, but I'm like a quarter of the way through the book. There was a storm and they went to the grocery store. I think The Mist is about to hit though. I think it's about to get chaotic. Well, how do you feel after reading for 24 hours?
It has been very relaxing.
Yeah. I honestly expected to be like a little tired of reading, a little read out, but I think I might take a brief break and like do a social media scroll. Cause like usually I'm like, oh, I don't need to scroll on social media, I should read instead. But now I'm like, you know what?
I deserve it.
Some mindless TikTok time does sound nice. But this has been so much fun. I'm like, oh, I don't want it to end, but I'm also like missing the kids and
yeah.
But I'm so grateful for you.
Me too.
This was so fun.
There's not many people I could just sit and do nothing but
yes,
read.
I love that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, go over to my blog channel if you want to see me ranking every book that I read this year. That's coming soon. Give Hannah some love in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Now back to reading. Because 24 hours wasn't enough.